interns and associates, and welcome back to another episode of the Cubicle Podcast. I'm Charlie Armstrong here, and today I have Cara Diadamo. She is an artist, entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Faith Over Fear Studio and Productions. Cara has built an impressive career upon spanning into music, acting, television, film, commercials, and live performance. She began performing at a young age, making her first televised appearance on Nickelodeon at just 5 years old. That is crazy low right there. And has since then worked alongside major artists and organizations throughout the entertainment industry. Beyond her work as a performer, Cara is passionate about empowering the next generation of creatives. Through Faith Over Fear Studio and Productions, she provides mentorship, coaching, production services, and education opportunities for emerging artists. We love that. That's on period. And she also is an executive member of New York Women in Film and Television and serves on the board of directors for the Melioria National Film Festival and Initiative. And And then for leading with integrity, faith, and purpose, Cara is dedicated to creating meaningful work that inspires others while building a stronger creative community. I am so excited and I'm looking forward to learning all about your journey. And I know you guys are too, and the lessons she's learned along her way. So without further ado, please welcome Miss Cara. Yes, please. Yes, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. I am so happy to have you on here. You're a legend and clearly a baddie in biz. So obviously, we have a lot to discuss about today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So let's just kind of start from the beginning. Like, what kind of got you into acting and entertainment? How did this all start?
Sure. So my dad is actually an incredible musician. He used to play for the symphony orchestra, which has been something that we've sort of talked about for many years. So I got my start in music actually. And then my mom is an artist as well. So she did sketch designs and paintings. So I kind of came from a family of artists. And for me, like it was always something that I've done. It was always something that I've known. And I never really thought of doing something different. So I started musical theater really young. My first performance was with Nickelodeon when I was 5 years old, had my first solo. And I just didn't know that I could actually make a career out of it until I had a teacher that really encouraged me to pursue music and acting. And then from there on, I got scouted by a modeling agent and I started doing commercials and print campaigns when I was 18. So I've been doing this for well over 22 years, which kind of is incredible because I just turned 40 and I just can't believe that I actually turned 40 and I've been doing it for so long. But yeah, I've been blessed to do Broadway and off-Broadway film and television, and I've worked alongside Grammy award-winning artists, worked with Drake. I've worked with so many people, Monica, Brandy, Trey Songs. The list is endless. And it's just been an incredible journey so far.
That's incredible. Wait, so you just said Drake?
Yes.
Worked with Drake?
Yes.
Oh my God. Wait, that's crazy. Wait, you have to spill the lore there. Like, when was that? And like, we need more tea. What's the context with this?
So when I had a manager when I first started that wanted me to do more music videos instead of like performing and acting, even though I loved musical theater. And she got me my first audition for a Trey Songz music video in Cuba Link, which was, I think it was 18 years ago. And I had this opportunity to work with Drake, and I actually worked with him twice, which was incredible. We did one of his music videos, and then I worked with him on Anchorman 2, which was incredible. I had 2 lines in Anchorman 2, but it unfortunately got cut, but it was still a great opportunity. And he's one of the nicest people ever.
Wow. Oh my God, that's insane. That's honestly insane. Like the fact that like you're able to work with like Drake and other like really big names. Like, was there any like opportunity that you were able to like work with the artist or like work somebody else that like really inspired you or just really made you like happy and eager to want to continue on with your craft?
There are so many. I honestly, I feel like the list is endless. I feel like I get inspired every single time I work with someone. It's like, for me, I think of it as a learning lesson, because some people have been doing it a really long time and some people just got started. And just to see people work in their element, in their craft, to me is just always inspiring. So I take it as a win, even if the person may not be as nice or as cool as I thought that they would be. But literally, the list is endless. I've worked with so many incredible people.
Amazing. That sounds phenomenal. Like I just have to say, like that just really just shapes and fills up your cup, I'm sure, with like being a part of a career like that, like being a part of entertainment and in that sense, and being able to just collaborate and work with so many like well-known names or just people in general that just really are incredible and that help you really find out who you are in your career. And I want to ask, so you said that you first started in Nickelodeon when you were like around 5 years old, and that was kind of like your first like debut into like acting and being a part of that. How did you get involved with Nickelodeon? Because that's a really big deal to have at like a very young age.
Yeah, so I actually was part of the choir in like would it be pre-K, kindergarten, PS230, and I had a music teacher, Daniel Shore, who literally believed in me. And he was just like, we have this opportunity to sing in front of Nickelodeon for it to be broadcasted. Would you be interested in it? And at first I was nervous because I was so young. I didn't really understand the capacity of what it is and what it entailed. But I was like, okay, we're just going to have fun. We're going to sing. We're going to dance. Let's do this. So when it was broadcasted, I didn't think anything of it because I thought, okay, like this was just something fun. And then he was the one that actually encouraged me to pursue music and to pursue acting. So, like, from there, it was always in the back of my mind, but I didn't really know if I was good enough to be able to do it, or make a living from it because it is a really difficult career.
What are your thoughts on it and through your experiences regarding like being a part of this field and making money and trying to get by? And were there moments for yourself where you're like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I maybe need to try something else. Like, what are your takes on that? I'm curious.
So I think, this industry is so unstable, and I feel like you always have to have a second job, a part-time job for steady income because I think people sometimes think that, like you book one job, you're going to book another job automatically, and it's not always the case, especially now. But for me, like I've always had a second part-time job just to be able to make income, to pay bills, to pay rent, to pay all that because, you need it. I remember at one point in time, I was working with Atlantic Records in a girl group for a specific TV show with MTV for a few months. And I was working for 5 months and we were shooting like 70 hours per week. So it was a lot on us. And I was still working part-time. And I remember like just how much it took for me. But I realized in that moment, going through that process, that I was like, I'm so blessed to be here with these incredible artists doing what I love, but unfortunately, like, you have to pay bills, you have to pay rent. But I think it's really important that artists know and understand, like, always to have something in the back burner because unfortunately, like, work is not steady. The career is not steady. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, sometimes are in it for the wrong reasons. So, like, they automatically think, okay, I just want to make money. I just want to get famous. And for me, like, that was never the case. Like, I love the work. I love the work so much. And I feel like that's why I feel like I've been so successful so far because this is a journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and everything takes time, and you really have to grow as an artist to understand, what you bring to the table. And I feel like once you do, work just automatically starts coming. But I really do believe you have to definitely still have something on the side to be able to, make ends meet. And I was going to say, I feel like in today's society, like a lot of people sort of lead towards content creating and stuff that are artists to be able to supplement with income. But living in New York City, we're in the most expensive capital in the world. So I feel like it's important to have that.
No, seriously, it really is like where we live, especially in because I obviously the entertainment industry, like acting and all anything regarding like modeling and is so prominent in both New York and LA. And you have
Mhm.
to make ends meet in both of those places because they're both expensive to live in, and to make a living and thrive off of that. And it's true. You do I've heard it from so many people that are also in theater and my friends now that are studying like theater in college and even other people that I know that are pursuing acting and any kind of career in theater outside of and just doing that professionally. You do have to have another like set of another way of receiving income because it's just so hard to make it because it's gonna be a little if you're not like huge like it's gonna be like risky to like get jobs and be able to have all these opportunities come to you just because of that. And yeah, no, it really is just like hard to navigate and get through that field. And do you think down the line regarding, obviously AI is just getting bigger and bigger by the second, which I think brings fear to everybody. Do you have fear that it'll take over the entertainment industry with acting and theater and jobs and opportunities? Like, what are your thoughts or on AI? Because I know every job, like the job market, we always talk about how bad it is. It's at an all-time low right now. I was just doing research on it the other day. It's actually in all caps, awful. It is so bad. Like even like getting an internship or a job this summer was like, oh, that was brutal. But yeah, like it's, and I was just wondering on like the entertainment side, do you think there is ways where it could possibly take over acting and theater and entertainment?
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad that we were speaking about this too, because I feel very strongly about AI, and that's why I'm pro union because I am in SAG-AFTRA and AA, and we are actively like working on contracts to be able to protect performers because right now I could tell you from when I first started, I did a lot of video games as well. Um, and now AI, they're replacing actors for video games for specific jobs. So it's become a lot harder, especially I think for non-union actors because like they want to get work, but they don't have that union behind them to be able to fight for them, which is unfortunate, but it is a real issue, unfortunately. And I think now we're seeing more people sort of create their own content and do their own works because they have control of that, because you can't guarantee you're going to get a job. Like I have a friend who is extremely successful. Like I would probably consider her like a B-level actor that gets regular work that's now competing with celebrities. And she was doing a project, unfortunately, and they wanted her to consign for something AI related in perpetuity and not get residuals for that. And it's unfortunate because that's not fair. It's like we all work really hard and it's important to be able to get compensated regularly. But unfortunately, we have to sort of stay abrupt when it comes to like all AI matters. And I hope, my hope as an artist and as, a business owner that we can continue to put artists first and not use AI to supplement for the work that we have trained our entire lives to do. So it's a really hard conversation.
It really is. It's just awful because I've been hearing it like just every industry is being taken over by AI and it's just awful. It's so sad. I mean, the thing is that like even with like businesses, I feel like if you're an entrepreneur, you can somehow like finesse your way to working with AI and not having it always being taken over like with that industry with AI, but it just depends obviously what, a business you're making in a sense and what your platform is and then what tools AI can also do. It's like how can you have a human touch to it and make people want to have a human touch. But it's just so sad to see that it's just taking over entertainment industry. And regarding like what you're doing for your organization and being part of that founding group, like what when you say you're signing contracts to like protect actors, protects like all like and how to kind of finesse with like AI and stuff like that. How is this process to create these contracts and fight against AI? And like what are you guys as a union like specifically doing to like prevent AI from like helping like taking over like people's jobs?
So for SAG-AFTRA, they're like proactively working on making sure that the performers' rights are being able to be cross-examined entirely. So like they're making sure within their contracts that if they're doing a specific type of video game voiceover, any type of image related product that they're using, that they're getting compensated correctly and that they can't use their image in perpetuity, which means like in total for any other projects. So like they're making sure that those contracts are now being put in place so that we're protected as performers, because there's been situations I can speak before. When I was non-union, I did a really big billboard campaign and they wind up renewing it for 3 years without compensating me before. So
Wow.
it's like it's very, very hard when you're sort of a non-union actor because you don't get those rights, unfortunately. But I feel like we as artists need to make sure that we read our contracts specifically so that we're making sure that our image is not used in the correct way. So I feel like SAG is definitely proactively doing that. We just voted on the new contract that just came out, which is great. And it really does help performers to be able to, not have their image used in a misconstrued way. So, but
Yeah.
it's interesting because I can't tell you how many video games I've done. I've done so many video games. And, now it's a lot different because you sign your contract when it comes to a specific type of video game to make sure they're only using you for one video game and they can't use your image. or AI for anything else in adjustment. So that's really important as well.
I see. No, I totally get that. And that's so interesting. So tell me more about like your video game like work and experiences that you have. Like what specific video games have you kind of like worked on before and like were able to like bring your acting and entertainment bazaar into it? Like I want to hear more about like your lore with that. Like that's so interesting.
Yeah, it was just sort of something that I fell into, which is really interesting. Like for me, I think of myself as a broad creative artist. So like I love the opportunity to be able to do something different every day, whether it's like acting, performing, or having the opportunity to be a video game. I did Fortnite before, Grand Theft Auto. I've done a lot of Disney games as well, and it's really fun to be able to be a superhero for the day or be able to do some things. So like a lot of it is usually filmed on green screen, so you have sort of like green dots all over you, so they're able to mimic all of your moves and make it into like, an actual character, and it's just so fun to be able to see that process and then look at the final process when it actually comes to a video game.
Wait, that is so interesting. And like how long does it take to like make this and then have it
Oh,
into production and then have it be like published to the world?
it's actually a pretty long process, I think. I think it takes like well over a year to be able to create the video game. I think they have an idea of what it is, but actually like being able to make sure the movements look legit because everything is so realistic nowadays.
Do you think like AI will take over like that, a lot of that specifically, or do you think that they're going to take over like other types of like different types of movies or animated things or like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I see AI. I actually saw my first AI film the other day too that they were talking about. And they also, I don't know if you read it in the news, but they were looking at an AI actress that they were trying to represent, which is very interesting too. Like a major talent agency wanted to have this AI actress to represent so that they had control of how they were able to sort of bring this fake AI person and be able to make more money because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like if you're not hiring a real person and you're using AI, you're saving on costs and other things as well. So I think it's honestly really scary. I couldn't when I saw that AI film, I was just like I was blown away. Like I can't believe that they're doing this and that they're not sort of thinking about the actual artist and performer that has worked for the past, 20 something years. But unfortunately, I think there's positiveness to AI when it comes to like, helping business, but when it comes to the actual performer, it's unfortunate.
It really is. Wow, that is just so insane. You did answer one of my questions because I was like thinking, I was like, why would people or like the talent agencies or just even like any organization that is creating this movie and creating this production or this film, right? Like, why would they ever want AI and not a human? Because knowing, I feel like if you were to do a survey or a poll, like you probably could, I feel like most people would want to see humans compared to AI like actors and actresses and entertainers, right? I just couldn't understand like why they would want this, but it's always for saving money. It's always saving that
Yeah.
next dollar. Oh, that's interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, think about it. Think about all the crew that they actually supply for a movie or a film or a TV show. It's like you're looking for locations, which is also really expensive. You're looking for crew, you're looking for props and all these different things. And now with AI, you're able to create these scenes and locations and people. Like one person is able to do that. Do you know what I mean? So like they're saving on so much cost in that sense. But still, I mean, it takes away the authenticity of people. Like art is about human connection. It's about bringing hope, and I feel like if we start to lose that, we lose everything. I mean, look at the state of the world right now, unfortunately. That's a whole nother conversation, but
We'll be here all day. We'll be here all day.
that would be like a 10-hour conversation, yeah.
That's a podcast that people need to buckle up for. That's a whole
Yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
For
I
sure.
like, yeah, because I was just wondering, because I remember they had the writer's strike, right? I think in like 2022 for
Yeah.
actors,
Mhm.
entertainers, and all that stuff who were frustrated how AI was taking over different industries and different fields. Do you see more strikes happening down the line regarding possibly the fact that now it was AI was kind of like in 2022 kind of starting to like dip its toes into like taking people's jobs and kind of like writing people's scripts. And do you see more of that happening down the line with people becoming frustrated with AI regarding like like these kind of fields, and like how and like where do you think people are specifically going to like do other than like maybe go on strikes, like, or like how will they pivot, in that sense, if they're in the entertainment industry and if their jobs are being taken, what do they do, you know?
Yeah, so I actually have it's really interesting that you're talking about that as well, because I think that there is going to be more strikes because there has to be. I feel like AI can't write what some writers can, so I think like there's no humanness to AI. So we need an actual human factor to it. But I do feel like a lot of artists, and I could speak like on friends that I know that have been producers and writers in the business, looking to other careers, unfortunately, because of the fact that, like work is scarce right now. And it's unfortunate that they have to look at other mediums because, like their jobs might be taken away. But on a positive note, I think it's always important to be able to look at different factors, and like learn different things. So in a way, like I truly hope that it won't come to that, that point where it's like all of the writers and all the people that are so incredibly talented lose more jobs because of this. And I really hope that more people that have power will be able to speak up about it and continue to employ artists that that are good, that know what they're doing, that that want to change the world through their art. So that's my hope.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you think collectively, as the everyday folk or people that want to get into acting and entertainment, how do we how do we combat this? How do we combat the usage of AI taking over not only just jobs necessarily in the entertainment industry, but also in other industries? Because sometimes those things could be like interconnected, or they could be similar processes that we could do to be proactive and help maybe stop this, taking over process of our jobs, this spread, this outbreak of AI that's becoming crazy for us to manage and handle. How do we best be proactive to find solutions and ways of how we can stop this so people who want to get into these industries can get into these industries?
That's such a great question. I just feel like we, as a community, need to educate ourselves on what AI is doing, what the community is doing, what the world is doing, so that we can use our voice to be able to sort of counteract the people that are trying to use AI in a negative way. So I think the more that people speak up and the more that people educate themselves, we have to stand up. I mean, there's gonna be a lot more strikes. But I think when we have the power to be able to use our voice and create our own work and do our part as artists, that's the strongest that we could be. Like I said before, like I'm pro union, so I'm so grateful to be a part of the union that fights on our behalf, for AI. But for people who are starting, the best thing that I could tell them to do is literally like educate yourself as much as possible and use your voice, because you know what? It's crazy that we have TikTok and Facebook and Instagram that you're able to like talk about a video and then it could go viral and help and support so many other people. Like that's one good thing about social media nowadays. But yeah, we have to speak up about it. We have no choice, like especially if you feel strongly about this certain things, like you have to.
Mhm. Speak up. And then I like that. No, I think it's important to educate and inform and using our platforms. I think
Mhm.
that's a great response and great take on it. And do you think, how do you hope that maybe legislation? Because obviously, I mean, if we collectively as a society, right, as we're a democracy, a global democracy in a way, right? Because we're all, AI is hitting everybody globally, has a touch
Mhm.
on every sector, everyone all over the planet. How do you think we globally and with legislation should be able to combat this? Do you think it would have to be like, do you think that we will? Do you think like, and what do you think? This is probably like, I would probably have to talk to like someone that's like in government probably about this. I just
I was
realized.
just gonna say, like, from my perspective, I was gonna say it's that's also extremely difficult too because of who our president is
Right.
and the fact that our government is dwindling. This is a whole nother 10-hour conversation. But I it will be extremely challenging because the majority of our government and our the president, they are business people. They're not people. Do you know what I mean? They're not for the people, which is a lot more difficult because they're about making money versus what's better for the people. Like I'm very grateful that we have the mayor that we do because I feel like he is trying to bring back the unity within New York, which I really appreciate. But I just feel like it's going to be very, very hard as a society, um, under our leadership to be able to make that type of change unless we all come together. I know that there are some legislators and some people of the government that do agree that AI, needs to be stopped or needs to be limited so that it doesn't take over the world. But I'm truly hoping that they would speak up, and be able to fight for the people.
I agree. I agree. You know what? I think that's an excellent take because really our legislation right now and our government, and it seems like a lot of governments over the world, they're all power hungry. They want the
Mhm.
and power they believe comes from your status, your
Mhm.
wealth. And that AI is a great example. It's an emblem of that. And I think it's
Mhm.
so true that it's like if this is our representation collectively as a government and through many governments all over the world, all they care about is how to make money. And AI is helping every business and every business, especially because that's what we run off of, making
Mhm.
money. And it's so sad to see how it's taking over people's livelihoods, their jobs, their passions, and things that we need to live. It's like we're almost going to become just a planet of robots. It's sad. But no, seriously, like I'm just so concerned with how AI is just taking over all of our jobs. It almost feels like in a sense, and I feel like I've been talking about it with some of my friends lately and just people in general. Like and every podcast we literally even talk about AI too. Like it's there's just such a commonality where it really is affecting just so many people's livelihoods and their jobs, and it's just so sad because we invest so much into wanting to improve our career and wanting to study what we want to study. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get a job. And not only just because of how competitive the job market is right now in general, but also the limitations of the job market right now because of AI. And it's just so sad to see that. And I really hope down the line that we can see there's more of a guarantee, there's more of a need for humans to be part of what we want to do. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think like obviously getting an education and building something for yourself is important, but do you think that in a sense because of AI kind of taking over a lot of jobs, it's almost kind of like what is your what is your advice in a sense for those that are feeling frustrated and discouraged for studying and paying so much and investing so much into their education to only feel like they're not going to be able to receive the jobs and opportunities that they want?
Um, Truthfully speaking, I think it's really important that everyone educates themselves about AI so that they're able to kind of stay ahead of the game, which is really important. And also, there's a lot of people, a lot of young people nowadays that are creating jobs for themselves, and for me, like I took it upon myself as an artist to be able to start a business to help people and mentor people because, at the end of the day, it's like we love what we do so much, but you have to just stay on top of everything, and I have my niece that just graduated from college this year, and now she's looking for work, and it's been really hard for her to be able to find work. And I was telling her, start showcasing your work, start displaying it on social media, start saying that you want to work, you never know what may happen. So I think it's really about sort of being proactive, educating yourself on AI, and then using it to the best of your ability to be able to actually land a job or create your own job.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And that's why sometimes being a business owner is the best way to kind of just navigate and go about that. Show your own portfolio, be your own boss in a sense, and kind of
Right.
utilize AI as a tool in that sense, instead of just being like, well, now I can't get this job because, it's taking over XYZ profession and I'm like, I'm cooked, But yeah, no, that's really good advice, honestly. I can relate a lot to your niece in that regard. Like I'm just like, oh, like what do you do? I'm like paying so much into my education only to feel like it's like not even a guarantee that I can actually get a job. Like, well, I want to go into I mean I got an internship this summer, so I've been doing a lot of product development stuff, and definitely do find it interesting.
Mhm.
And but I also really want to like get more internships in like news and media, which I feel like in journalism, which I feel like is like almost like dead weight at this point because it's like I feel like so like AI is just taking over that industry. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm scared.
No, but the good thing is that you started your own podcast and now you have a platform where you're able to showcase your work and you never know what may come of it. So you might get sponsors, I think I commend you for being so young and being able to start this and also network with so many different types of people as well. So you're ahead of the game.
Stop. Thanks, making me giddy. No, literally, I appreciate it. I'm just like, I just hope that it goes well for everybody and we all can just like get jobs and hopefully down the line with new legislation and new people in government that are seeing these negative effects, not only just based on the fact of the job market, but also, and well, the economy too, but also I think also just based off of the fact of climate and environment. And it's so it took me to like this year to actually realize the environmental damage and impacts that AI has. And how I remember, yeah, reading the statistic where in 2027, literally next year, if we keep up the AI usage that we have, we are going to continuously run out of clean drinking water. The World Health Organization literally has stated that. I was like, hello? Like I'm scared, but yeah, it is really scary to just see the impact of it and just the repercussions of what it could be down the line. And it actually is like terrifying, but we'll see how it goes for sure. But I actually, speaking of businesses and kind of wanting to start like your own portfolio, your own spiel of things, I would love to shift over and talk more about Faith Over Fear Studio and Productions, your company. Would you like to kind of tell us like a little bit about your company, like what specifically you do and how it all started?
Sure. Really funny. It started actually in the pandemic. I was working on a TV show for 2 months and it just halted production. And I said to myself, I'm like, okay, what are we going to do as artists in this time where COVID hit, where now more than ever we need like human connection and other artists. So I decided to create Faith Over Fear Studio Productions as a way to build the artist community, for all of us to come together and be able to work on projects, to be able to learn, get training, mentorship program, photography, videography. I started doing photography in 2020 as well. And yeah, it's just been an incredible journey of to see how we started to what it is right now. And right now, I am so fortunate enough to be able to coach so many incredible actors that are so dedicated to their craft and build an actual community and be able to be one of the sponsors for the Meliora International Film Festival, which is incredible. And we've worked with so many different types of charity organizations as well, because that's really important to me. And yeah, like for me, I'm just like wherever God wants this to go, I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, so right now we're currently doing a photography, videography, we do production, we do a mentorship program, we do training, we do coaching, we do headshots, late shots. So everything artist related, there's a place for everyone there.
Oh, that's amazing. And how has it been going so far regarding like just the perform because I know it started 6 years ago. So how has it been performance wise since, post COVID and through everything so far?
What I love about having a business is the fact that, like, for me personally, I've been a working artist for so many years, and getting the opportunity to sort of give firsthand information to other artists that are either up and coming, or I have one client that's 84 years old that decided to get back into acting, and she is incredible. Like, I feel so grateful to be able to do what I do and mentor so many artists. So like it has grown so much since then. And we've partnered with so many different types of organizations as well, which is wonderful. But what I love most about it is the fact that like I can use my knowledge and my expertise of, being a working artist for the past over 20 years and help other people. And it's such a joy to be able to see them in their element creating and being able to see them come to life, especially one of my 83-year-old client. She's just so wonderful. Like I think she started as an actor when she was really young in her 20s and she stopped. She had a family, she had kids, but then, life changed and now she's at this point in time in her life where she's like, I want to get back into it and sort of navigating the industry now versus many years ago has been interesting for her. But I love that. It brings me so much joy being able to help people in that sense.
That's amazing. That's cool. So it's like almost just like who cares about like the status of it in a sense. It's just being able to help so many and to help them to grow and to navigate the industry and understand like you can get that support and get that help. Hmm.
Exactly. And that's what it's about. That at the end of the day, it's like we as artists need to come together. We need community. We need people. And I think we should never stop growing and learning. Like I just got into Juilliard and I'm going to be taking classes again, which is so funny because I like I love
Congratulations.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I just love continuing to learn and grow. And I feel like we as artists should never stop doing that. That's really important. And to be able to connect with other people too, it's just you never know what may happen. Joy of, creating, the art of creating.
That's true. You never know. And that's truly just how it is. If you're able to, you never know what life is going to be like. And you could start anything regarding art at any time in your life. Like there's no like set timeline that you have to start something. Like not at all. Not at all. You should never feel like rush or pressure like that at all. Like it's your life. Do it whenever, It's being an artist is up to your interpretation. And that's the beauty of it in a sense, Like I definitely agree with you on that. Just hearing that like you're able to just support so all and create a community for these artists, like that's absolutely incredible. It almost makes me want to be involved. I'm like, hey yo, like
Yeah.
can you meet someone else? Yeah.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So it's like all different artists, not even just like actors or like, or just anybody in theater in the sense. It's like literally anybody you'll do it for. Even just
Of
like
course.
regular professionals, like just like that work in corporate.
Well, I mean, we've done like headshots and special events for like other types of things too. So like we've done Sweet 16s, communions, special events. So it just depends. Like there's a medium for everyone there. So we've worked with musicians as well, and we have a wonderful mentorship program. We have a 3-month program and we have a 6-month program where you're able to be mentored by me or another team member, just sort of learning the different aspects of the industry. We have a writing mentorship program. We have an acting mentorship program. We have photography. There's so many different things, but yeah, I think it's really important to inspire people to keep dreaming because right now we're in a world where everything is sort of falling apart and we need art because art is literally the hope of the world. So however we can encourage people to follow their dreams, that's what's most important.
I love that. No, that's incredible. Do you feel like there was a gap of that, like in the industry, especially maybe even for like your background? Like maybe did you feel like you had that level of support that your company provides? Or does it feel like you had that when you were younger, but you feel like you wanted your spin on it, like as you gotten older, with being able to just help and support so many people?
I think the thing is I didn't have a great experience going into it. I feel like I've had like a lot of ins and outs in terms of like sort of knowing my work, figuring out my identity, and who I am as an artist. I think that took me a really long time because of the fact that I was in both the music and the entertainment industry. So very, very different mediums. But I think sort of navigating that made me want to help people. And it's really funny because I feel like I was one of the only people when I first started trying to help people get an agent, trying to tell them how to get auditions, what headshot photographers to use. Like, I feel like I was always doing it throughout my career. And then I realized, once the pandemic hit, that I can actually do this and I can actually help people. And I had a friend encourage me to start Faith Over Fear, and it's all been history from there.
I love that. That is so cool. That shout out to your friend for having
Oh,
for like, encouraging you to start that. Because I imagine like it can be a lot and it could be, I'm sure, very tricky, like how to navigate a creative career. And I feel like it's just so hard, like where do you start? Like who do you need to know? And I feel like this not only it's great that you guys provide such great tools for people, but also connections. So I feel like no matter what, connections is what helps you kind of get anything because you never know what can come of like just working with people and just getting the connections. So I feel like that's amazing that you guys are able to kind of like help jumpstart people's careers like that and just kind of be like, this is the support, this is the tools that you need to provide. And, instead of like being like confused and kind of just walking around with question marks almost like hanging around your head, like you're kind of just like, you have your problem solved right then and there with like people like you that are starting these amazing companies. Like that's amazing. That's
I really
incredible.
thank you so much. Yeah, no, I think truly there's a place for everyone in the arts. Like we have people that are starting out, we have people that are in it, we have people that are coming back to it. But I just feel like there's a place for everyone. And I feel like if you have that dream in your heart, it's for a reason. Like every artist um has that motivation to be able to create and to do something to change the world. And if I could at least be a small part in that journey to be able to help someone, I always will, because we need more kindness. We need more positivity. We need to be able to really nurture, the dreams. It's really important.
No, I agree. And I'm curious, what do you see down the line with your company? Like maybe like 5 to 10 years down the line, like what do you guys kind of hope to achieve more as, and that could be up to your interpretation as, a business owner coming from your perspective.
Well, my goal is just to continue to keep working as an artist and be able to work with all different types of people who are inspired to be able to create art, to learn about art, to build community and to connect. And I feel like that's what's really important. And hopefully one day we'll be able to start making our own productions, God willing. So that's a long-term goal, and be able to hire as many people that I admire and respect as possible, because I would love to be able to create as many jobs as I can for them.
No, I bet. No, I bet. Yeah, as much as you can. Like if you're providing those tools and providing the resources for people, you would hope as much as possible you'd be able to help create jobs and help them to want to find professions and things for themselves that inspire them. So I definitely think I'm with you on that. Like it's almost like, yeah, who cares like about the money? Like just like care about like helping people and supporting people and making a community to make films and productions. I'm sure that's probably like extremely exciting from your point of view and everything. I also want to ask, obviously, I feel like every time I've talked to a business owner entrepreneur, they always say how difficult it is. Do you think it's hard to be a owner and to navigate that through not only that, but also just being an actress yourself and working in other mediums of art? And if so, what's like your advice to those that want to, but are probably scared and feeling kind of discouraged, maybe?
Well, I think if because I'm already a working artist, it's sort of like I understand the niche of the business very well. So it kind of comes at secondhand nature for me. And truthfully speaking, like I get a lot of business through referrals, through people that I meet and want to work with me. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I think that if there is someone that wants to start their business, just to sort of look at either if there's other similar businesses out there, or just kind of educate themselves on like having a niche or the type of work that they want to get into. But for me personally, because I am a working artist, it always goes hand in hand, and it doesn't really feel like work to me building a business. I think you have to have a really good support system. You need to have strong people that are behind you. You need to have a mentor that believes in you, that can help you through every step of the way, because there's so many different types of businesses that you could have. You can have an LLC, an S corp, non-for-profit. All depends on what you're looking to do. But I think as an artist, we ourselves are our own business. So if you think of it in that way, it sort of encourages you to take it on more seriously and think of yourself as a business and be able to use your expertise to help other people.
I love that. No, I think that's so cool. Yeah, use your expertise to help people and just finding ways to balance it in your life and
Mhm.
finding ways throughout your business that creates joy for you as well as helping out other people as well. And so being a practicing artist yourself, like that's incredible. And have you met like people throughout your journey of being an entrepreneur that like really inspired you and kind of kept you like, okay, I have a purpose. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep building up my brand. Really just made you realize that this is my purpose.
Oh gosh, there were so many people that I've met along my journey, both in like the music industry and the entertainment industry. And I've been very fortunate to have worked on very, very good productions. And I feel like I'm inspired by everything and everyone. It's the truth. It's like I feel like some people could take it as, working with someone that might not be not good, but there are a lot of people that are very sort of coy, maybe coy be a good word, or like very protectant of themselves, and they're not very helpful. But I
Right.
feel I feel like I take it all as a learning lesson. But oh gosh, I have so many mentors, so many people that have inspired me to continue to keep going. And I remember my first big movie that I booked, I was very hesitant and nervous to work with like Armin Asante and Ed Asner, and it was a movie called Joe's War that's on Amazon Prime. And I remember how nervous I was because I was like, these are legends. I'm going to be working with legends. How is this going to be? And I just remember how kind everyone was to me and how they created such a safe environment to be able to play and explore as an artist. And I feel like that's something that I really appreciate and value. And that's the type of atmosphere that I like to create when I'm working. So yeah, there's so many incredible people that I've worked with. Literally, like I feel so blessed, both within music and entertainment. But with the business related, Lisa Mayer was one of my great friends and mentors. She helped me through like every single aspect because I was so nervous to start this as a business because I didn't know sort of which way to go, how to be able to handle it. And then she was telling me just do what just use the information that you have and then just start with that. And I think the most important thing also is to be able to give yourself grace because sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves as artists and as a business owner to be able to succeed. And everyone's definition of success looks different. And for me, it's like as long as I'm working and I'm growing, that's all that matters. So,
That's so true. You actually just helped me kind of build into a question that I just have.
mhm.
So, as you said, success kind of is like different for everybody, right? And I think just, navigating that through, your fears and but what you want to do and achieving your dreams through your talents. My question is what does success exactly mean to you that you're building a legacy as being a business owner and obviously being in the music and entertainment and acting industry through other artists and not just your own work? Like, what does success mean to you in general, maybe in a sense?
I think success looked different when I was younger to now because I think for me, like I was thinking of success as being able to consistently keep working as an artist. But I think it sort of changes because we always want to work as an artist, but I think it's more about the lives that we touch, the lives that we help. Because for me, like I want to inspire other people to keep dreaming and to keep working. And I feel like I'm starting to see that so much. So to me, that's what success looks like. If I'm able to encourage someone and help someone in that way, I feel like that's amazing because then, they're encouraging other people and it just starts sort of like a train, in that sense. But I am very, very grateful because I've always been the type of person that's always been very positive and motivating. And, I always see the glass is half full versus half empty. And I feel like you kind of have to be that way in this business because rejection is very, very hard at times. So for me, yeah, success is just continuing to keep working as an artist and be able to grow and see the people that you work with grow as well. So.
I bet. No, that's so true. And I think just like success fills your cup, not only for yourself in a sense, your
Mhm.
definition of it, but also through other people. And I'm sure it just like is so exciting to see like people reaching their milestones in whatever they do and regarding what you provide for them as tools and resources and just through your own network that you create through your own company. So I think it's amazing in a sense how you're just able to provide so much, not only just through your services, but also just a relationship and connections. And then even helping it through yourself, like almost like a help me, help you mindset. And just, but also like, let's grow together. let's grow and let's develop and become who we want to be together. And I think that's
Like,
always to see yourself at your true and your full potential. That's always, the truth, in a sense. And I would love to know, so obviously you have leadership positions, not only just through being a business owner in a sense, but also, being serving on boards and through being a part of professional organizations, through what you do for your experiences in your career. I was just wondering, so what leadership lessons have you learned throughout your whole process? And if you can give advice maybe on how to get involved in leadership and how to be a leader, what advice could you give?
I think for me, like the aspect of being a leader is really different for every single type of person. But for me, it's about building people up. That's the first aspect of leadership. Like, I think there's a lot of leaders sometimes that are just out for themselves to make money, to build business. But I feel like for me personally, I like to build up other people. I want to build up other leaders. So I think the best piece of advice that I was given was to take everything with a grain of salt and as a learning lesson and not as something that you can't come back to. So I feel like I always take that with me because I'm like, you can win, you could succeed, but you could also fail 1,000 times, but you have to continue to keep going, And I love having the opportunity to be able to build people up. That's what it's about, leading people towards, whatever it is and finding their strength and being able to magnitude that. You want to magnify it and you want to help them be able to grow. And because I'm a part of such wonderful organizations, I'm able to be able to help people on a larger scale and have my voice be heard. And I really appreciate that because um, working on the board of directors for the Meliora Initiative and the Meliora International Film Festival, we have been able to have so many filmmakers' dreams come true that don't have the funds to be able to, submit their film into the film festival. Um, to be able to ignite that has truly been such a blessing. So like I'm yeah. I'm gonna say I'm grateful a million times because I am. I
I
never
love
take
that.
I never take this life for granted and leadership is really important.
Leadership is important, and I think hard work and discipline and also just,
Mhm.
being yourself and being there for the people, being that support system. I think that what always makes a good leader, being a good
Exactly.
listener,
Yeah.
understanding people.
And everyone has their own unique talent. Like there's only one Charlie, there's only one Cara, and like each of us have something unique to be able to bring to the table, and the table is never full. The table is going to continue to keep growing. So I think when you have people that are different from you, that are smarter than you, that can bring different ideas and come together, like that's when the magic happens. Another person said to me, you never want to be the smartest person in the room. You always want to have people that are smarter than you because that's how you grow as a business, as a company. Like you want to continue to keep that mindset. So
Mhm. No, seriously, I love the fact that you just say that because I feel like I say it like pretty often where it's like it's good to be smart, but not the smartest person in the room. Because I think you always can learn something new and always grow yourself. And I think that comes along with the lines of being modest and being humble. Because
mhm.
even though, let's just say maybe you are the smartest person in the room at that point, you're not almost valuing yourself that you are. It's almost just like you are smart, but you're also still opening to like learning through others because there's always something new that you can learn from everybody even if they are maybe not the brightest bulb. But I'm just like you could still learn something from them, and that's okay. That's part of the experience is that everyone can bring something different to the table, and intelligence can come in so many different forms, not just from being book smart and being good at math and science, or you're good at analytical skills and stuff like that, like, or you're emotionally intelligent. Like there's so many different things that you can learn from other people. Like I'll give an example. Like one of my really good friends that I'm also roommates with, JC, he has such great knowledge in theater. And it's funny because I feel like I mean I have a background with like theater and stuff like that when I was like really young, but it was nothing like serious. Like he has over 12 years, I think, of experience in theater, and he just directed a musical actually for our college this past semester. So he
Mhm.
has crazy experience in theater, and he like tells me about stuff about theater, and he's like, "You don't even understand this." And I'm like, I know a lot about a lot of other things, not theater. But I was like, but I'm willing to learn. I mean, I'm like, I'm sitting here listening to you, so I'm down to learn. But no, seriously. And then like I know things about like some things with science and math and maybe marketing and other things, history, like other things that I know that maybe he won't exactly know. So I'm like, so it's always interesting like to hear like different takes that are brought to the table. And you're just like, okay, like that's cool that like you know this and you know that. And you can kind of question and make comments about other things. Like that's I don't know, I find it so interesting. I could talk about this for hours.
Me too. No, I love it. And it's great that you have a roommate that is so into theater and art because I mean, like you both can teach each other something that you don't know.
No, seriously, we really can because I'm like, I know about other types of art, just not like theater as much, you know? So it's like so interesting to like talk about this because I'm like, okay, like period. And then now it makes me want to learn more about theater and like go to like Broadway shows more and like, see this all happening live in front of your face. That's what you need to see, honestly. But that's just my take, my opinion. But so I feel like we have talked for a while now. We always ask this last question to all the interns and associates that come on. And wait, I'm gonna ask you another question actually before I finish off this question.
Yeah,
So
of
let's just
course.
pretend that we didn't even say that. Um,
Okay.
so for someone that is in acting and entertainment, just to kind of give more people a perspective if they do kind of like want to get into this industry, what is like a day to day? And I know every day could probably look different, but let's just say, for example, you got a job, like, and you were able to like land a role for this like one TV show or movie. I'm
Mhm.
curious, like, roughly, like, what would a day look like, maybe hypothetically speaking, if you landed a role and you're working and, in the process of filming or doing whatever or anything regarding art, or you didn't land that role? I feel like this is up to anyone's interpretation of their life, but like let's just say like they hypotheticals here. Like what would your day-to-day look like? I'm curious.
Oh gosh, my day to day is different, depending on what I'm doing, but I audition regularly, like pretty much almost every day. So
Oh,
like trying to sort of navigate time to be able to audition properly because nowadays like we're very lucky that we have SAG-AFTRA Foundation to be able to do our self-tapes because mainly everything is self-tape, not in person. But I've actually built my own studio in my home to be able to, record, but you have to get a reader. So sometimes it depends on what I'm working on, but sometimes like if I have plans, unfortunately, I would have to drop them to be able to, work on the audition and submit it. But generally speaking, like I do pretty much coaching every single day as well. And working on the business, working like yesterday, I wound up reviewing films for the Millionaire International Film Festival that are essentially getting the film festival. So literally every day is so incredibly different for me. But for the life of a working artist, it's very unique because we get auditions all the time, right? And then if we get a booking, we have to change our schedule to be able to accommodate, the booking and go over the contracts and all that stuff. But I love auditioning. I think a lot of people either love it or hate it, but for me, I'm it's just we get a chance to play for hours, and we have the opportunity to be able to, create a character and, just go with it. But yeah, every day is so different for me. It really is.
no, seriously. I can imagine it is different every day, which I'm sure is probably great for people, especially if you don't want your typical 9 to 5 where you're kind of sitting at a desk and you're just always like doing work on a computer. It's kind of nice to kind of break it up a little bit and have like, your own studio, but then you're auditioning and then you're, doing this, or if you land the job, then you're, shooting and filming and, it's just, or your business and you're operating your business and mentoring people. Like I feel like your format is so interesting because your day to day can look very different. And I feel like that's like cool to get that perspective. Do you like that kind of format, or do you wish you would have more like stability regarding like you want more like of a corporate like 9 to 5 moment? Like what's your take on that?
Oh God, I tried the corporate life before and I like it was not for me. Like I love being able to do something different every day. Like it's so funny. I'm doing this podcast now, and then I'm doing another podcast afterward, and then and then I'm doing yes, and then I'm doing voiceover work. So it's like, and then I'm doing coaching sessions. So it's literally like every single day is so different for me. But I love it. I love being able to wake up and do something different. You know, that's what keeps life exciting. That's what, you know, keeps us on our toes. Like I feel like having a structured schedule for me like wouldn't work as well. But I do have to rely on my calendar for everything.
Seriously. No, I bet you have to like watch it like a hawk and be like,
Yeah.
you have to be so organized.
Yes, I'm I have to be extremely organized because I have so much, and you know, sometimes we'll get last minute coaching sessions too, but I love being able to coach actors too. So it's so much fun.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Talk about inspiring right there. Like you're inspiring me to like want to be in a career where like every day like does look kind of different. Or there's some stability, but there's like, of
Yeah.
course, like some things that are routinely, but then like other things where it's like, yeah, like baby, I'm doing this today. Like, what about it?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you need some stability. Like for me, like exercise and health and wellness is extremely important to me. So it doesn't matter like how early my day starts. I will wake up and I will work out and I'll make sure I have my protein shake and make sure like those are the things that are sort of routine for me to be able to make sure that I am like mind, body, sound, if that makes sense.
I love that. No, period. I wish I see I like to work out too and exercise. Like that's also like one of my favorite things to do. But
Mhm.
I just can't do it in the morning. I'm like, oh, like, I'm so jealous of like people who can't. I'm just not a morning person like that. Like I like the mornings, just not that much.
Yeah. But I think also it's harder. Like if you have a structured schedule, I feel like it's a little bit more difficult because like, you know, you have to work and you have to do all these things. So it's like, it's a little bit different for me. But if I have to like a call time that's really early in the morning at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I won't work out early in the morning. I'll do it afterward. But generally like I'm more of a morning person.
I love that for you, girl. No, you're living your life. Like we need that discipline over here.
Yes. No, but if I can encourage you too, I think, and if I can encourage other artists as well, just take control of your life and your dreams are valid. And if there is something on your heart that you want to do, do it because we only have one life and we have to live it. And money will come. It's not the most important thing in the world. It will come, but continue to work on your craft and do what you love because you don't want to wake up one day and be like, I spent all these years just working and I didn't get a chance to really enjoy my life. So you're so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. So just continue to keep on working towards your goals.
Oh, you girl, you got it. We're already getting locked in right now. So you're inspiring me. I hope this is inspiring you, and that's what's up. We can inspire each other no matter how old we are, or we're always learning something from each other, and that's the most important thing. Yes. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast today. I would like to end off asking this question. We ask this to all the interns and associates. If you have one piece of advice, if not multiple, up to your interpretation, we're good with anything. If you can give one piece of advice to the interns and associates, what advice can you give?
Oh, okay.
Or
Um,
be for a while.
I know. I think the best piece of advice I've learned is that what I said before is there's only one unique you. Um, there's only one unique Charlie. There's only one unique Cara, and you have so much to offer to this world. So don't dim your light for other people. Continue to continue to know your worth and follow your identity and make sure that you know that there's a place for you anywhere in this world. And to always follow your dreams, to never give up, and to keep going. That's the most important advice that I could give to someone.
That's good advice. I actually needed to hear that. Thank you. Like,
You're welcome.
no, seriously, that's such good advice. Know your worth. Don't give up on your dreams. Eye on the prize. Eye on what you want to do, and keep living it up and have fun throughout the process. I think that's you really you just nailed that one right there. Like that's truly the best piece of advice I think I heard so far, I think on the podcast. Like I've
Oh.
because I actually like my friend like interviewed me, but then he was like, because like as like, and then I interviewed him too. JC, who also is like one of the co-hosts as well. And then because mine was like, I think just like keep doing you, keep following your dreams, following your goals. And I said also don't go stale. Keep
I
learning
love that too. Yes. And it's so funny. Another person said before, use rejection as redirection. I think that's really important as well.
in
Because,
everything.
and everything, because you can be rejected a million times, but use that as a learning tool to be able to redirect towards what you want. Always take it as a learning experience.
That's how it is. No, you said that you nailed that one right there, honestly. I'm like, okay, period. No, you did. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast today. I love talking with you. It was such a pleasure. I love learning about your background. You're just like the sweetest and most bubbly person. So I was like, I knew she needed to like be on. I was like, you just radiate positivity and happiness. And I was like, I need to have that girl on. Like, you're such an icon. And I just want to say thank you so, so much. And I just want to say this does conclude this episode of the Cubicle Podcast with both me and Cara. Thank you guys so much for listening and stay tuned for the next episode for All Is Said. Thank you. Bye, guys.
So much.